Hello, if you're like me, then you've probably gone into a client meeting a little too eager and energetic at times, and maybe you scared away a potential client that you could have landed for your law firm. I remember when I was a young associate in Virginia and I had just come out of the prosecutor's office and I was working in private practice and had a client meeting set up, and one of the partners in the firm had set up the meeting for me. We went into the meeting, and obviously, I'm this young, new private practice attorney, ready to go, eager to, get the point across on why we were the firm to hire, and probably was a little too eager. Luckily, there was a partner in there with me who was older, wiser, and a little bit more controlled, who, helped me land the client, and we got the client into the firm and ended up representing them for a long period of time. But it calls to mind for me when it comes to digital marketing for attorneys. Oftentimes, if you don't have enough leads coming in, then you're going to be very eager with every prospect that comes in the door. And sometimes that eagerness or that energy might scare somebody away. Now, I explain it to attorneys and law firms with regard to a buyer readiness scale. So if you think about it from the standpoint of the buyer, and you think about it from temperature standpoint as well, from a cold to a very hot lead. So a cold lead might be somebody that you have, just come across maybe at a networking event, or somebody that, came to your website and maybe sent in a contact form and was just asking some questions. So that would be a very cold lead. You've really had no contact with them. You don't know anything about them. They don't seem, too warm or hot to hire an attorney today, but you jump on that lead. And so you need to think about, from the standpoint of your buyer readiness scale, where are the prospects in that, scale from cold to hot? Hot being somebody walks in your office, they need an attorney today, maybe they're going to court, they've already gotten sued. So that is a hot prospect. Maybe it was even a referral from somebody so there's already a relationship built there. You'll have a much different conversation with somebody who is a hot prospect than someone who is a cold prospect. It's kind of like dating if you think about it. If you go on a first date and you're on that first date and you just, been 5 minutes into the date, you're feeling it and you're like, let's get married. All right. So, how is that going to go over? And that's kind of what happens with regard to people and leads that come in through their digital marketing. They might have a lead that comes in, maybe asking a question, and they're jumping all over the sale. And they're trying to land every client that comes to the door. So, as an attorney and a legal professional, they didn't teach us this stuff in law school. So we didn't really understand marketing and sales and all the business side of running a law firm. But you need to understand, first and foremost, if you have a lot of leads coming in, then you're going to be able to pick and choose and have your pick of the litter, so to speak, with regard to the clients that you want to represent. And if you remember the buyer readiness scale from someone who's a very cold lead that's maybe asking some questions, you'll need to nurture them and have conversations with them, make them comfortable, make them understand who you are as an attorney, and then eventually convert them into a client. Or maybe they don't ever need a lawyer, but maybe you treated them so well that they give you a referral somebody down the line. Always be thinking about ways that you can use the leads that are coming in. That 100% of them are not going to be clients. But if you can use those leads and that pool of people who are there to have conversations with you, if you can have those conversations either through email or text or your website or even just face to face or Zoom, have those conversations. Let the people get to the point where they know, like, and trust you. And if they don't need an attorney, maybe they'll refer you to somebody who does. So remember, it's kind of like dating. Take your time, have a lot of leads and prospects coming in, so then you can pick and choose who your ideal client is that you want to do the work for, as opposed to you feeling like you have to put on a great show to get someone to hire you. If you're sitting back and you're picking and choosing from the prospects that come in, you're going to be much more comfortable in a much better position, not only just emotionally stable wise, but also financially, because the revenues of your firm are going to reflect that comfort and that stability. Now, by the way, if you want a resource so you understand who your ideal client is, we do have a resource that we've created at Martindale Digital, and I'll put up the link for it right here on the bottom of the screen. It's www.martdig.com/ideal client. You can go there if you haven't downloaded it before to understand who your ideal client is. There's a lot of questions and things for you to think about so you can understand and get real clear on who your ideal client is. And if you know who your ideal client is, then you know how to talk to them, attract them through your digital marketing, and then land them as your client. So go out there, have those conversations with your ideal client. Don't get too eager. Don't scare them away. You're going to land those ideal clients, and your law firm is going to be doing unbelievably great. That's all I have for you today. Hope to see you again tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central for another Live at 5 with Martindale Digital, where we're going to go over the 4 C's on how you can take a cold prospect to a hot prospect and build on what we talked about today with that buyer readiness scale. Thanks a lot. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and I hope you have a blessed day.